What a treat.
Yes, sir.
What a
Yes,
treat.
sir.
I always kind of dread this day, but I'm also happy at the same time when I have former Panther player because it means you're going on to do better and bigger and better. Justin Rankin, the best running back in the IFL now in Canada with the Edmonton Elks. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, Justin. Tell me how the whole correspondence with Canada went down and how this deal came about.
Yeah, actually, a big mediator for the whole situation was Coach Mike Davis from the Vegas team. He helped me out a lot, along with Coach Keith, just, putting in good words with the CFL teams. And, he kind of got me in contact with the Edmonton Elks. And, after a day or two, they sent me a contract over, and, that's kind of where we've been at now. Now it's just, back to the grind of the off season and getting ready, making sure we got the playbook down and things of that nature. And, waiting for report day.
You had that great season with Bay Area. You led the league in rushing. You had the 49 touchdowns. How important was it for you to leave the IFL as a champion?
It was awesome. I mean, shoot, that was my third year. My second year in the IFL, we kind of fell short when I was with the Frisco Fighters. So it was nice to actually be able to, get to the championship, live that out and have a good time doing that and actually winning it, not just, going there and, saying that we made it. We won it, and that was awesome. That was a huge team effort. Shout out to the entire 2023 team. So, it was a great experience.
I remember last year talking with our analyst Steve Pappen a lot. Say, you know what, this guy should be in the running for the MVP, which hasn't happened in the IFL. It's always been a quarterback thing. And the fact that you and Dalton were mentioned in the same sentence, what did that mean to you?
It was awesome. I mean, obviously we all know, I think it's always going to end up being a quarterback, which, I'm completely okay with. I understand, what comes with being a quarterback, and, that's a lot of pressure on those guys. So some of the things that they're able to do, is amazing. But just to have people mention the fact that they would like to see me get the MVP, I mean, that was awesome. I'm just grateful for being able to have the opportunity to continue to play ball again.
Justin Rankin of the Edmonton Elks. You had the breakout year with Frisco, and I remember talking to you last year about it, that you weren't content. I mean, you actually did an overhaul in your body, diet, and working out. You were already the best running back in the league. What was the thought process saying, you know what, I can be more?
Yeah. Again, I went to that Frisco season just not really, knowing whether I was completely, I wasn't bought in. I just was not completely bought in, but I was going to give football another year. I was going to see how it panned out. So, I was out of shape. I wasn't in the shape that I wanted to be in, that I should have been in. And, that I think most coaches will kind of expect. Huge shout out to Billy Back. He, took a leap of faith and, brought me in, and, it worked out in everybody's favor, I think. But, after that year, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, dude, you could do a lot better. Like, this, you didn't take the off season as serious as you could have. Let's do that. Let's take the off season serious. Let's have another year, and let's see what we can make out of it.
How difficult is it to go on? I remember the year after Bismarck. Now, maybe a year in Bismarck would say, hey, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. But you actually have to reevaluate the end of the year and saying, man, am I doing the right thing with my life? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely difficult. I think a lot of the guys that are playing indoor, they understand the difficulties that come with playing indoor, as it is a great opportunity for all of us to continue to play football and at a professional level. There are difficulties that come with it that you have to sit down and, really evaluate, not just with yourself, but with your family. Like, is this something that, is sustainable? Is this something that we're able to keep doing? Is this something that I'm able to keep doing, mentally and physically? And especially after Bismarck, that was a huge year where I was like, man, like, what are we going to do here? I'm talking to some of my teammates, some of my buddies, and, they all kept playing. They were all bought into, like, we're going to do another year. And, I think that's something that huge shout out to all of them, but that's something that drove me to be like, you know what, I'm going to do another year too. And I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the support, family, community that, kept me pushing into to continue to play in the indoor football league.
You know what? The coaching staff from last year mentioned, hey, the signing of Rankin really made it acceptable to join the Panthers. Bay Area, it's the championship franchise, but people forget a couple of years ago they were 1-15, right? So it didn't have a lot to offer. It's expensive to live here, and they weren't very good. So What was the thought process in joining the Panthers and the fact that you were a big part of the success of the team with other folks coming around?
I mean, again, I appreciate them saying that. Sometimes maybe like I don't really see it as that, but there were a lot of guys like in the IFL in the indoor league that reached out to me. I reached out to them. JT Stokes being one of them, and we were trying to figure out like where are we going to play at next year? What are we going to do? Like, what do we want to do? Like, do we just want to keep kind of being role players, or do we want to take on the team and turn a franchise around, kind of create our own franchise and try to be the leaders and be the front runners and show guys like, look, this is a place that you guys want to be. You guys want to come be with us. We want to be great. We want to be the best. We wanted to build a team strictly with guys that want to come and put the work in, and that's kind of like what we tried to do. A huge asset to that was Aaron Dilworth. I mean, he might be one of the best recruiters in football. I mean, when he's done playing ball, he's got to go be a recruiter, because I mean, he can talk like nobody else. And he was one of the guys that really got us on board. He got me and JT completely on board with the Bay Area, because like you said, they were 1-15, and we were like, dude, we're not going to the Bay. Like, they're 1-15, they're awful, and then he talked to us. We saw the signings of Coach Keefe and Coach Dixie, and I mean, that's a no-brainer. You got one of the best offensive coaches, in the indoor football league, and then one of the best defensive coaches in the indoor football league. So, I mean, we put our faith in him, and it turned out very well.
At what point did you think, hey, this was a championship team? Because I know there were a couple of losses early, the home loss to Tucson, so that dropped the team below 500. And then by the time we got to 2/3 of the season, the team really kicked it into gear.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think after camp and throughout camp, I kind of saw like this team is different. Just some of the adversity that we were just facing during camp, not to mention, through the season, like we went through a lot of adversity, a lot more than a lot of other teams. But just during the camp, I'm watching how that team was handling adversity, how we were clicking, how we were meshing, and how hard the guys are working. I mean, this was easily the hardest camp that I've had, since I've been in the indoor football league. And the way that the guys handled it was amazing. I mean, everybody stepped up to the plate. Like, nobody really complained, and everybody came closer as a team. And that's when I knew. I mean, I used to tell JT all the time, like, dude, like we got the team. Like, we got a team. We got to take advantage of this. Like, this is going to be a good team this entire year. Let's keep being leaders. Let's keep, pushing guys to be great. And, that's what we did.
At what point of the year does your body get banged up? I know by the time it's July, I'm getting tired, and I'm not playing, and I'm not getting tackled on, which is the equivalent of cement. What about for you?
Man, I think every game my body is banged up. But after the first game, I mean, you open a game against the Arizona Rattlers, and you're going to come out of that banged up. That's not going to be a fun game to come out of. You're going to have all the adrenaline playing it. Right after it's over, you're going to be like, I just got hit by a train, So, I mean, after that first game, I was starting to feel it. But, I mean, it's football, that's what we signed up for. So, as long as we, taking care of our bodies, which I think we all did kind of a pretty good job doing, me, JT, Dalton, we're getting in the pool, swimming laps, kind of taking some of the stress off of our body, not being in the weight room as much, kind of doing pool workouts, which I think helped a lot. And I mean, every game, week to week, I was struggling.
Justin, how much did the camaraderie? I know Amari cooked for the guys, and Dalton was a great leader. Some of the activities, away from the daily grind of playing football, just being together. How important is that?
Yeah, I think it's huge. And I say so because I think when I was with the Frisco team, I don't think we did enough as a team. And I think that can lead to just guys not being on the same page sometimes. And one of the big things that I wanted was, the team to be able to like bond outside of football. Like, yeah, we're here for football. We're all bought in, but we're still humans. We still have emotions. We still have feelings. Sometimes we just want a little escape. So, we used to go to the bowling alley. Amari and them, they would cook all the time. Every Thursday they're having cookouts. The coaches would show up, which I thought was huge. Like, it was huge for the team chemistry, the team bonding. Now you got guys really like wanting to play for one another. Like when you're out there, like you're being unselfish, you're putting your body on the line for your teammates. And that's always what you want, because this is a team sport at the end of the day. we can't do it by ourselves. So that was huge. That was a huge part of the season, and I'm very, very thankful for the team and everybody actually showing up to those type of events.
About halfway through our talk, I thought I heard a kid crying. Right? You're a great family guy.
Yeah.
So who are those family members with you, and what does that support system mean to you to keep you going?
Yeah, I mean a huge support system. My mom and dad, obviously, like they've kept me going through everything, all the trials and tribulations. There's been a lot of times where, I thought about stopping, I thought about, kind of hanging it up, not knowing, kind of trying to navigate life. And, they're always good people to fall back on. But, even further than that, I have my son, I have my his mother, she's helped me through a lot as well. Just talking to her, like, look, like I'm gonna leave. Like, is this gonna be something that's gonna, kind of affect, how is this gonna affect? Are you gonna be okay with this? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, things like that. So just talks with those people, they helped a lot. And JT, man, JT's my guy. Like JT,
Really?
yeah, JT's my guy. Mike Kerrigan, those are two of my guys. And Malik Duncan, he played for Quad Cities. I mean, every offseason, I'm talking to them almost every day. Like, how are you guys feeling? Like, what's going on? What are we doing? What's the plan for this year? What are your goals this year? Me and JT set goals every season, just to make sure that we got our heads on right. Make sure that we're still pushing to be the best and we're not getting complacent. So those are three guys, that like friend wise, I mean, I consider them family. And those are three guys that help me every offseason just to make sure that I got my head on straight.
I remember when we announced the signing, you going to Canada, Amari went the same week, and we did an interview for the internet, and you said, hey, John 13:7, man. John 13:7.
Yeah.
Why does that mean so much to you, and talk about the meaning of it?
So it's actually kind of crazy because I know a lot of people what's the quarterback from Ohio State, when he kind of mentioned it, that's when I kind of like dove deeper into it, though I can't remember his name right now, but that's when I kind of dove deeper into it and kind of like really read it. And it's huge because I just feel like that it just resonated with me so much, because there's a lot of trials that I have went through. Just, in my brain, I thought they were setbacks, but they weren't necessarily setbacks. I think at the time I just wasn't ready for what I wanted, and I needed to prepare me. God was really preparing me. The universe was really preparing me for what I was asking for what I was working towards. And I'm thankful that, I took the route that I did now, because, now I feel so much more ready, so much more mature, and ready to actually take a full advantage of the opportunity.
What's the schedule for Canada in terms of when you have to go up there?
I know we leave May 6th, or the beginning of May. I think he said May 6th, but they said it's not a set date. It might change. It might vary a day or two. But I know the first week of May, like I'll be gone, headed to Canada.
I don't know if anyone told you yet, but it's a little colder than Northern Hill.
It's freezing, but I was in North Dakota and that was freezing. So
Yeah.
I think I'll be all right. But, I've played in the snow my entire life. So if we do got to play in the snow and some cold temperatures, I think I'll be all right.
Hey, everyone in the Bay Area is super proud of you. You're an example of perseverance, hanging in there, putting in the work. And do you ever wake up and say, I don't want to do this? Like Kobe Bryant would always say, hey, you have to embrace the suck, right? Because the stuff that's not fun to do, getting up super early, the extra training. How do you keep yourself going with that? And do you ever have that negative, man, I just want to sleep in today?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think everybody does, and anybody that says they don't, I think they're lying to you. I can't tell you how many days I wake up and I'm like, I do not want to do this today. Like, I do not want to go work out. But, I tell a lot of people, a lot of the young guys too, that, I'm training and help out. I tell them all the time, like, dude, like, you're not going to be motivated. There's no motivation in the world that's going to make you get up every day. But like, you got to be extremely disciplined and extremely consistent to do anything, not just football, but just whatever it is that you want to be successful at. Like, it's going to come with a crazy amount of discipline and a crazy amount of consistency. And I think that a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors, a lot of guys in my life have really helped me, build a good foundation of that discipline and that consistency where, I can get up every day and not even think about it. Like, I'm like, yeah, like I don't want to go, but I'm going to go. Like, I know that I'm going to go. I can sit here and say that, like, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to go, like, regardless. Because if I don't go, I feel I feel awful, like if I don't go to the gym, if I don't go get some work in, if I don't study, if I don't keep up with the things I'm supposed to, like it doesn't feel right for that day. That day was thrown off. I wasted a whole day to, grow, to be better. So I'm thankful for a lot of the coaches and a lot of the mentors, that I've had to help me build that foundation.
In a weird way, it's odd for me to say former Bay Area Panther running back, but it's all for the right reasons. Now with the Edmonton Elks, Justin Rankin, I appreciate you, man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you.